Good day, dear grade 10. Welcome to English 10 class. How are you doing? Great! I'm so glad to be with you. This week, our topic will be appraising the unity of plot, setting, and characterization in a material viewed to achieve the writer's purpose. Understanding a writer's purpose in the story, we need to determine the development of narrative elements like plot, setting, characterization, and tone, because these play vital roles in the appreciation of the world of literature. Before one can appraise or evaluate the unity of the plot and the other elements, particularly the setting, the characterization to achieve the purpose of the writer, developing a solid understanding of the elements of the story is essential. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to identify the setting, plot, and characterization of the material. Give the major plot points. Determine how the unity of the plot, the setting, and characterization contribute to the totality of a material viewed or read. And identify the author's purpose in writing the story. A story has 5 basic elements: setting, character, plot, conflict, and theme. Let us focus on the following: the plot, setting, and characterization. Characterization. It is a literary device that is used step by step in literature to highlight and explain the details about a character in the story. It is in the initial stage in which the writer introduces the character with noticeable emergence. After introducing the character, the writer often talks about his behavior, and as the story progresses, the thought processes of the character. An author can use 2 approaches to deliver information about a character and build an image of it. These 2 types of characterization include direct or explicit characterization and indirect or implicit characterization. Direct or explicit characterization is the kind of characterization that takes the direct approach towards building the character. It uses another character, narrator, or the protagonist himself to tell the readers or audience about the subject. Direct characterization tells the audience what the personality of the character is. Let's have an example. The patient boy and quiet girl were both well-mannered and did not disobey their mother. The author in this example directly tells the audience the personality of these 2 children, that the boy is patient and the girl is quiet. Indirect or implicit characterization is a more subtle way of introducing the character to the audience. The audience has to deduce themselves the characteristics of the character by observing his or her thoughts, behavior, speech, way of talking, appearance, and manner of communication with other characters, as well as by discerning the response of other characters. Remember this mnemonic: STEAL, S-T-E-A-L. S for speech. What does the character say? How does the character speak? T for thoughts. What is revealed through the character's private thoughts and feelings? E. Effect on others toward the character. What is revealed through the character's effect on other people? How do other characters feel or behave in reaction to the character? A. Actions. What does the character do? How does the character behave? And L for looks. How and what the characters look like. How does the character dress? That is steel. Dialogues play a very important role in developing a character because they give us an opportunity to examine the motivations and actions of characters more deeply. Let us have an example for indirect characterization, revealing a character's trait through appearance. Daniel, tall and thin, wore her mouse brown hair pulled tightly back into a ponytail. She always dressed in a gray skirt and blouse and never wore jewelry. This description of her appearance reveals a lot about Daniel. We imagine her as a quiet, serious, and perhaps shy person. Let's have more examples. Revealing a character's traits through dialogue. Hey Daniel, want to come with us to the movies tonight? Jim asked. Oh no, Daniel sighed. My aunt would never allow it. She says I have to work on my research paper all weekend. From this example, we learn even more by listening to her speak to other characters. She is clearly studious, serious, and afraid of upsetting her aunt. Another example, revealing a character's traits through private thoughts. Why can I be like other kids? Daniel moaned. She pressed her nose against the window. I'd like to be out there with everybody else, laughing, skating, and going to movies, just belonging. We learn from these private thoughts how lonely and isolated Daniel feels not being able to have fun with friends. This technique is especially effective if the narrator is the main character, discovering what the main character wants, fears, worries about, etc. It's like we are eavesdropping on them throughout the story. Another example is revealing character traits through actions. That afternoon, John ran catch up to Daniel as she walked home. Hey! He called excitedly and tapped her on the shoulder. She flinched and looked away, blushing. By simply reading or observing these actions, we receive more evidence that Daniel is shy, slightly isolated, and lonely. She clearly is afraid of talking to others. Another example is revealing character traits through effects. John, puzzled, wondered why Daniel was so upset by his friendly gesture. This reveals that Daniel's actions have affected others around her. In this case, it's John that is also now affected and slightly upset. Now that is what characterization is all about. Remember, it's two types, implicit and explicit characterization. Now let's move to the plot. The plot is the action that takes place in the story. It is a series of connected happenings and their results. Questions mostly are, what happens and how it happens. Now what are the parts or elements of a plot? Exposition. This is also known as the basic situation, opening, or introduction. It introduces a main character who wants something very much and who encounters a problem or conflict while trying to get it. Rising action, otherwise known as the complication. The writer develops the elements of conflict further, and new complications or problems arise. Climax. high point of the plot. This is the most exciting or suspenseful moment in the story. The climax is when something happens that decides the outcome of the conflict. Falling action. The after effect of the climax. The story just begins to wind down. However, the problems are not necessarily solved yet. And lastly, resolution, sometimes called the denouement. The problems are resolved and the story ends. Now that is all about plot. Remember its five elements: exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. This time, let us have the setting. It includes location, like office, bedroom, bar, cave, forest, can be cities or countries or planets, era or age, time of day, and cultural milieu. Setting answers the questions where and when. Setting influences character type, word choice, pace, tone, and even genre. Setting can contribute to a story's emotional effect. Setting can help reveal character. Sometimes the setting can provide the main conflict. Plot, setting, and characterization work together for the author or writer reveal his or her purpose in writing a story. An author's purpose is his reason for or intent in writing. An author's purpose may be to amuse the reader, to persuade the reader, to inform the reader, or to satirize a condition, to relate a story, or to recount events. So an author uses narrative writing. At this moment, let us check how well you listen. Determine what is being described. Unscramble the letters to reveal the word. You have 5 seconds to answer. Number 1. It is a series of connected happenings and their results. The answer is plot. Number 2. It includes locations like office, bedroom, bar, cave, forest, cities or countries or planets, era or age, time of day, and cultural milieu. The answer is setting. And number 3. It is a literary device that is used step by step in literature to highlight and explain the details about a character in a story. The answer is characterization. Let me read this story, which takes place in France several hundred years ago. Afterwards, I will ask you to answer some questions related to it. Are you ready?
The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant. Mathilde is born to a low-class family. With no money for a dowry, she is married to Monsieur Loisel, a clerk from the Board of Education. Mathilde, now Madame Loisel, had always felt like she should have been upper class and is unhappy in her married life. She hates their home, their food, and her lack of fine clothing and jewelry. One evening, Her husband excitedly presents her with an invitation to attend an event at the Minister of Public Instruction's home. To the surprise of Monsieur Loisel, Madame Loisel throws the invitation down in dismay, weeping and complaining that she has nothing to wear to such an event. Her husband offers to give her the money for something suitable, but as the day of the ball approaches, she is still dismayed. When asked why, she replies that she is embarrassed to attend the ball without any jewels. Her husband suggests that she ask to borrow some jewels from her rich friend, Madame Forestier. She agrees and goes to see her friend the next day, greedily choosing one of Madame Forestier's finest necklaces. At the ball, Madame Loisel is a hit, elegant, joyful, and desired for roaches. She and Monsieur Loisel returned home at nearly 4 o'clock in the morning, and only when they arrived home, Madame Loisel realized she lost the necklace. After a week with no news, Monsieur Loisel proclaims that they must replace it, and the couple finds replacement for 36,000 francs. Loisel has 18,000 francs from his father's will and borrows the remaining sum, bit by bit, and making ruinous promises along the way. After all this, Madame Loisel is able to return the newly bought necklace in the original's case, apparently rousing no suspicion. To pay off the debt, both Monsieur and Madame Loisel must work tirelessly. After 10 years, they are finally able to pay off all of their debts. One day, while taking a walk, Madame Loisel runs into Madame Forestier. She approaches her old friend, but Madame Forestier almost doesn't recognize her. In sudden emotion, Madame Loisel reveals her entire story of losing the necklace, replacing it, and working off the cost of the replacement ever since. In response, Madame Forestier replies that the original necklace contained not actual diamonds, but rather fake diamonds, meaning the original necklace cost no more than 500 francs.
Dear Grayson, how do you find the story? Who are the characters? How did the setting affect the mood of the characters in the story? How did the dialogue or description reveal about the characters in the story? What happened in the story? Were the characters able to resolve the issue or conflict? How did it affect them? How do you feel about the character situation? Get ready. Let us answer this short activity. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Type it in the comment section. You have 5 seconds. Number 1. The following are characters in the story except one. Who is not a character? A. Guy de Maupassant. B. Madame Forestier. C. Madame Mathilde. D. Monsieur Loisel. Answer is A. Number 2. Where did the story happen? A. Brazil. B. France. C. Philippines. D. Spain. The answer is B. Number 3. What is the turning point in the story? A. Matilda is a hit and is danced by many. B. Matilda has lost the necklace of Madame Forestier. C. Madame Loisel is embarrassed because of her cheap breath. D. Monsieur Loisel slips in the anteroom while waiting for Matilda. The answer is B. Number 4. What is the real cost of the necklace of Madame Forestier? A. 36,000 francs. B. 18,000 francs. C. 500 francs. Or D. 3,500 francs. The answer is C. Number 5. The necklace may symbolize any of the following except for one. Which is it? A. Discontentment. B. Covetousness. C. Anger. D. Pretension. The answer is letter C. Great job, grade 10. Okay, just a thought. What can you say about the story, The Necklace? The fact that the necklace is at the center of deception that leads to Matilda's downfall suggests that only trouble can come from denying the reality of one's situation. The necklace symbolizes discontentment, covetousness, and pretension. So, be true, be real, be you. Stop and never pretend to be someone else. For the next activity, think of a recent movie you've watched. Identify the story's elements and the author's purpose. You may refer to this. Then, you may submit your output in our Google Classroom. That's it for today. I hope you learned from the discussion. For clarification and inquiries, you may reach me in my Facebook account. With Momsy, English is fun. See you in my next video. Keep safe and God bless.